If you are in the same job for over 2 years, you may actually be falling behind and you may not even realize it. I know it sounds harsh, right? 2 years you just entered a firm and you have been there. You think you are loyal, stable, you are delivering value. But what you don't understand is the dynamics of the entire situation changes in 2 years' time. After 2 decades of corporate experience and coaching hundreds of corporate professionals, I can tell you one thing in a very confident manner, that if you don't understand what drives your career beyond 2 years in a particular job, you may be making a huge mistake. Remember, careers don't stall because of bad luck, it stall because of bad strategy. If we don't have a strategy in place, or if we have a bad strategy, it is going to stall. So let's talk about this 2 year timeline and why it is so important. And stay till the end because I'm going to tell you about the value balance equation which you need to understand in order to decipher how to build a strategy that will propel your career rather than taking it down after 2 years in a job. Welcome to this edition of Unscripted. I am Rahul Gupta. I am a leadership and career coach and founder of Transform Ahead. Today's edition is a solo podcast. It's just you and me, where I share some of my personal views on topics which is important for your career and growth. This podcast is my space to unpack raw, often unspoken challenges which professionals face, including career pivots or leadership dilemmas or certain issues which are not spoken widely and discussed. I'm going to unpack all this for you. Whether you are navigating a crossroad or chasing the next big breakthrough or just need a relatable conversation, this space is for you. So let's dive in. So, why 2 years is an important timeline? Let's dive into that first and define why this timeline is important. Think from the company perspective. The company basically hires you, and the entire hiring project itself is a costly affair. You have to pay the headhunter, or obviously you are paying salary to the internal recruitment people. The process runs for a few weeks, sometimes months. You go through a long list of CVs, you conduct so many interviews. This is all investment of time and effort into the process. After you shortlist people, there are people who can take an offer and run away, but there will be somebody who will end up joining finally. If you are that person who is going to join finally, the company has already invested so much of time and effort as well as hard cash to get you into the system. Now obviously if there is a investment at the beginning, the company would want some ROI out of that, right? कंपनी को भी कुछ तो निकालना है आपसे, अदरवाइज आप आए और फिर चले गए 2 महीने में, तो जितना भी इन्वेस्टमेंट था, जो भी टाइम एंड एफर्ट था, एवरीथिंग इज लॉस्ट. एंड देन द बिजनेस ऑल्सो गेट्स इम्पैक्टेड बिकॉज ऑफ योर एब्सेंस. यू केम देयर टू deliver certain things which is not happening now. So typically I have seen in my experience that it takes roughly around 24 months or so of somebody getting into the system, getting active in the system, understanding the system, and then delivering to the quality and efficiency which the company wants. It takes typically 24 months to get there. In 24 months time, the company has kind of got its ROI, the initial investment that it made. It has kind of recovered that ROI because you have been part of a client project, for example, or you have been doing an internal role, whatever be the case, you have delivered. And in those 24 months, maybe the project which they hired you for that got over, or it reached a maturity point. Other people also got trained in the project, so now they have multiple copies of you working for the same project. So they may need you, they may not need you. After 24 months, something changes on the other side. So this is the company side. Let's now talk about your side. What has happened on your side? Now you also were looking out for a job. You invested your time, effort, preparing for the interview, researching on the company, and then putting your CV together, your LinkedIn profile together. You went through so many applications, you went through multiple job interviews, you have been hanging out there to get your job offer, and this company now offers you a job, and then the offer letter rolls out and you feel great about it, right? So you have invested both emotionally as well as effort wise into the entire process. Now you enter the system. Obviously, the first 90 days is all about settling down, understanding how the system works, what's the expectation on the ground, who are the stakeholders, and you are learning. There is a steep learning curve which is going on. Now that gets over in 90 days time. After that, you get into execution mode. Execution also, there is a learning curve when you are on the ground and delivering work. So that gets to a point maybe in 6 to 9 months time where you have started working in a very efficient manner, and that is what the company also wants. Now you start delivering in a very efficient manner, and roughly in 24 months or so, you have also received your ROI in terms of the higher salary that you would have negotiated, plus the effort you have put in the initial part. All those things are done. You have learned new things. Your learning curve has delivered that kind of value to you also, and in 24 months you pretty much know, okay, what does it take to do this job, and there is maybe nothing new to learn now. So even you have got your ROI. You now know that if I move beyond this period in the same job, you need to understand what's there for me. So just to kind of bottom line this section, both the company and you have kind of made your ROI that you invested early. An ROI on that investment is already done in 24 months. So now you face a hidden trap after 24 months. The company having got its ROI, they're okay if you leave, okay? Unless the company sees you as either a leadership potential or somebody who is highly liked by the stakeholders, including the clients, or you are good for business, which means you are producing, or hitting the top line, bottom line really well, and they would like you to continue. Otherwise, the company is fine if you go. But most professional, instead of evaluating whether they should stay or go, they start feeding this entire thing in their mind, saying that, hey, I just came here, I have spent 2 years hard work, now I have made a point here, so I should stay and get more ROI out of it. Okay. And my boss is good with me, so I'm comfortable with my boss. My job role, I understand what I have to deliver, so I'm comfortable with the job role. My learning has happened, fair enough, but I can continue without learning much also, or developing a niche for myself for some more time. So we feed our mind with these kind of thoughts, which is nothing but staying in the comfort zone. Okay. We start feeding this and we start feeling comfortable. Why not another 6 months to 1 year? Okay. And then that 1 year becomes 2 year, 2 year becomes 5 years. And then we kind of get stuck in that situation where we are not learning new things. We are doing the same old role, but just that we are so comfortable. And gradually, what's happening, and quietly it's happening, that you are not leading towards an exponential growth anymore. You have just stagnated in that role. The company maybe will bear with you. If the company doesn't want you to leave, they will tell you you can stay if you want to, but you may not be getting a lot of those high growth potential aspects from the company side, unless you are also fulfilling some criteria like leadership potential, high client access, or some kind of skill that's niche that you bring to the table. So this is the trap you get into if you stay beyond 2 years and get too comfortable without even understanding that your growth is being hit. So the next logical question becomes, how do I know whether I should stay now or whether I should go? For that, the whole value balance equation you will have to understand. So, on one side of the equation is value perception, and the other side of the equation is value creation. If these two aspects are balanced, you should stay. If it is not in balance, you should leave. But let's understand what is value perception and what is value creation. Value perception is predominantly from the lens of the company. Are you creating value? And do you have potential to create more value for the company in the future? How do you assess that company sees you that way? That company sees you as a high value asset. Number one, clear indication is if you are into the room with important people in important meetings where important things are getting discussed. That's number one. Number two, you are put into high impact client engagements or internal engagement which has got visibility till the top level. Number three, you are being, you know, somewhere being supported by the management to go for the learning aspects, the structured learning aspect sponsored by the company for leadership programs, for growth programs, for sales masterclass, whatever is important for your function or for your growth, the company is sponsoring you for those kind of events, right? The company is also pushing you towards conferences and other external events where the company wants you to go and meet more people and bring more clients to the firm. And lastly, is your span of control also moving up, which means you are gradually moving up the ladder and more organization is getting embedded under your hierarchy or not. So there is a career ladder which is being shown to you and is being given to you. These are few very important indication about value perception that the company has about you. If you think maybe one or two things are happening but other things are not happening, or it's kind of sporadic in nature and you don't find a very clear cut pattern that there is these kind of things happening with you, there is a possibility that the company doesn't see you as a high value asset. That's quite possible. So you need to pause, reflect on your journey last 6 months or so, and ask this question: are these things happening? Are majority of these things happening or not happening? Some of them may not happen based on their role, on your role, but some of them, like you being in the room for important discussions and meetings, you being put in front of important stakeholders, this is like table stake if you are producing value for the company, and the value perception part is on the higher side. Now the other side of the equation is the value creation part. Are you creating value for yourself, and are you creating value for the firm? What is your thinking about the value creation aspect? Now, you are creating value for yourself provided you are learning something new every day. There is always a newness in the kind of work that you are doing, and you are not going on in a repetitive mode. That's number one. Number two, you are seeing yourself in more complex programs, projects, or stakeholder management aspect which the company has trusted you with, which means you are learning again on these aspects as well on a day to day basis. Do you see a pipeline in front of you of important role, project, etc., which is being put in front of you, that would you like to take up anything of these caliber things, that you can go and deliver, right? High caliber aspects, right? Do you see such kind of pipeline? Do you see any kind of bigger opportunities coming in front of you? Do you see stakeholders actually relying on you? If these things are happening from your side, then you are definitely creating value for yourself and for the firm, because in the process you are also learning and the firm is also getting that value. So you need to evaluate your side of the story. If again not many such things are happening and you are just going in a repeat mode and nothing else, or you are being thrown into projects which has no strategic importance, and you are also not learning anything new, you are not being market aligned, or you are not picking up topics which is hot in the market, which the firm is providing to others, maybe not providing to you, which also means that you are not generating much value for yourself and for the firm. Now, if you are getting all this and you are doing all this and you think you are producing value, whereas the firm has a high value perception also about you, that is where the equation balances, right? Where they are perceiving value, you are generating value. And if these two things are matching, it basically tells that you need to stay put in this place because everything is going right. If this is not matching, right? If this is not going in the right way, which means the company doesn't see value, or maybe you see value but the company is not seeing value, so it's kind of mismatched, right? In that case, it's a clear cut indication that you may need to change your job or your role or move out of the organization. And here is a mistake which most mid career professionals, especially who are kind of in the middle of the journey, make, is they are not looking at this equation at all, but they are thinking, boss is good, job is okay, let me stick around. Or if they suddenly get emotional about the entire thing and they start feeling left out, they make a quick emotional decision around, okay, let me leave this place, even if the other options I am getting is under optimized or not optimal for me. Okay. I just make a quick decision, and then this hasty and quick decision is going to fire back. Okay. So you should not get into a mode or to a point where you are kind of pushed against the wall and you have to make a decision. So when the 2 year timeline is hitting you, you need to stop, pause, reflect, make a decision, and take action, and not do it in an impulsive manner. See, remember, this 2 year thing is not a deadline, it's a reminder, right? It's a reminder. And when that reminder strikes your calendar, you need to block some time and do a audit of what has happened in the last 2 years. Look at the two sides of the equation. Are they balancing, not balancing? And accordingly you take the decision. And even before, if you decide to move on also, you need to find a valid option outside or inside the organization before you move on. Otherwise you will land up with the same problem. See, remember, the novelty factor of any job wears off after 6 months or so, because you have got the new salary, you have got the new role, your learning curve is already over. Now you are just in the execution mode. So novelty factor is gone. At that point of time, you need to realize that I need to now start delivering work. But after 2 years or so, you should park time, you should think about it, and then you should make a movement ahead. That will make your journey smooth. That will also make you market relevant for the organization, as well as it will give you immense amount of satisfaction. So don't stay passively, and don't leave by reacting to a situation. Both are equally dangerous, right? Just see if your value perception is rising and your value creation is expanding, you stick around. And if both have plateaued, you make a move. As simple as that. So guys, I'm hoping that this entire video is going to help you understand this concept well, and you are able to make the right kind of judgment and decision when it comes to career transition and movement. आप इमोशनल होकर डिसीजन मत लीजिए, आप अपने आप को समय दीजिए, इन चीज़ों को समझिए, इवैल्यूएट कीजिए. बहुत टफ नहीं है. इसको अगर आप पेपर में लिख के करेंगे कि क्या पॉजिटिव है, क्या नेगेटिव है, परसेप्शन कहाँ पे पॉजिटिव है, क्रिएशन कहाँ पे पॉजिटिव है, आपको समझ में आ जाएगा. बट अगर आप अपने आप को समय नहीं देंगे, एक दिन ऐसा आएगा जब आप थक जाएंगे या परेशान हो जाएंगे और फिर आप कंपनी छोड़ के जाएंगे और बाद में पछताएंगे. सो प्लीज़ डोंट डू दैट. Give yourself time and space. And if you have learned something out of this video and you think somebody may need it, please share this video with that person. It can save his or her career. Thank you very much. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Unscripted. What I shared today, if it moved the needle for you even a little bit, please do share your thoughts in the comment section. And don't forget to subscribe us on YouTube, Spotify or Apple Podcast, or just follow me on LinkedIn. If you are curious to explore deeper conversation and real transformation, do visit us at transformahead.com to know more about our community Transform Ahead Leadership Circle. Until next time, stay curious, stay grounded, and lead with clarity, confidence, and commitment.